Hey everyone, it's Ro with Ro's Wigglers. I am down in my wormery which is also my basement. Um, I'm doing my very first round of resetting my breeder bins for my European night crawlers that I got from Missouri Worm Supply. Shout out to Missouri Worm Supply. Those worms were so healthy. And so this is my first time resetting these bins, so I've had them going for about 21 days, and now it's time to sift and remove the worms so that I'm getting the cocoons out of the bins, and I can put the cocoons in a separate bin to hatch so that our breeder worms will continue to reproduce and make us more cocoons. So I've done 2 bins already, and what I've noticed is these worms are amazing. They're making so many incredible cocoons that are really big. In fact, I actually had to change my screen size because my other screen that I usually use for my red wiggler cocoons was actually not letting the cocoons fall through. So now I have a larger size. I think it is, I think it's a 1/4-inch screen. And so what I've got here for my setup is my light. So this is the bin that has my new prepared bedding, as well as some nice, gross, frozen and thawed, halfway rotten pumpkin, and some coffee grounds ready to go for our worms to start their new adventure. And then here I have our sifter that we're going to sift into this one. And then this is the bin that we're pulling from that has all of our current worms and cocoons. So if I pull this back, see those? Look how much bigger these are than red wigglers. It's wild to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my camera here as an overhead so you all can see kind of the sifting process and hopefully see all of these cocoons. So give me 1 second. Okay. So sorry for the shakiness. This is like hanging on a thing. But now the camera is pointed down to just above the screen, so you'll be able to see as we sift out the finished bedding, which is basically our worm castings plus our cocoons, and it'll leave behind the chunkier bits plus the big old European night crawlers. So check this out. Get my gloves on. Some days I like gloves, some days I don't. Today's a glove day, apparently. So let me get my cup full of worms and their bedding. Here we go. This is what I'm dumping into here. And then I'm going to sift this. And you can see what's left behind here. Oh, that one does not like it. What's left behind here is just the bigger pieces, some chunks, and then our lovely worm friends. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to dump them into their new bin. And down in this one, the area that was sifted, get this worm out, you can see, I think you can see, so many cocoons in just this one round. Let me move that out of the way. I've also got some bits of plasticking material. I did get some bedding that came with these worms that was shredded up cardboard that had the shiny coating, which I do not typically use in my bins. So I've been kind of picking that out as I go. But let me see, maybe I'll just lift this bin up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we can see. So if you look here, look at that. Cocoon. 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 Like, there's so many. It's hard to get the camera to focus, but let me just, like, show you. There's so many cocoons. These worms were very happy in the environment that I situated for them. So that's really exciting. That makes me feel like I'm definitely doing something right. And the size of these cocoons in comparison to the ones that I typically am sifting out is just wild to me. So let's do another round. I know that's probably not fun to look at on camera exactly. But see, now we have our worms, our big, huge, healthy worms doing their thing. Look at that clitellum. It's huge. So this one's probably going to lay a cocoon soon. But yeah, so many. Look at you. You were trying to go down. No, this. Okay, so you got to hurry up and move the screen. Otherwise, they try to go down to get away from the light. So I'm going to take this and dump them in their new home and get these little escape artists. They'll thank me for it later. Oh, are these two? Nope, this is one worm. I thought I found, oh, no. Okay, that's maybe not. I thought maybe we found two worms that were in the act, but they're not. That's okay. They will be. Yeah, and I'm seeing a ton more cocoons again. Cocoon, 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 cocoon. Like, so many. So I wanted to just show you all. Like, this is one of my favorite parts of the process. Like, seeing how many cocoons these worms have made in the past 21 days. And the reason we do it 21 days is because cocoons hatch on a 21-day cycle. So what I'm trying to do is get ahead of getting these cocoons out of the bin before they hatch. Because when you have a bunch of baby worms, they're a lot more difficult to get out. And in the event that you end up with so many baby worms in your bin, your breeder worms, the adults, will stop reproducing because they want to keep the population balanced and fit for the environment so that nobody is running out of food. It's interesting how they know how to do that. Anyway, I'm going to do this several more times until this bin is done, but I wanted to kind of bring you along for this adventure and show you the process. I will say that my red wiggler bins have not been nearly this exciting, but the reason for that is I placed a really big order, really big for me, order of red wigglers from another local worm farmer, Hollis Farm. They're really great too. But those worms arrived, and many of them were still younger in their adolescent stage. So I think I'm just not seeing very many cocoons yet because I don't have worms. A lot of the ones in those bins are not yet of breeding age. So hopefully once those get going, I'll really start cranking out some red wiggler cocoons too, which will be very exciting. Anyway, until next time, this is Ro with Ro's Wigglers. Remember, healthy soil, healthy plants, happy worms, and like and subscribe and tell your friends about this channel. Thanks. I can never turn this off.